5 time zones from Moscow, Irkutsk is a sprawling Siberian city of harsh realities. Realities symbolized by an outside loo. This toilet of shame was installed by Alexei's utilities firm when residents in the building opposite ran up record debts. It is a stark warning to pay up or Alexei's team will block the sewage pipes in their flats. The debtors would then be forced out here to this freezing shack.
They go on using their toilet at home for a couple of days. Then the drain gets blocked and water starts coming out. So they have no choice. By the 3rd day, everyone comes to see us to sign a payment agreement.
The tale of a toilet hints at new hardships in Russia, where the number of people in poverty has been climbing for 5 years. Vyacheslav doesn't earn much, so he was looking forward to his pension at 60, not to retire, but for extra cash. Now, though, the pension age has been raised. Russia's president argued the state couldn't go on funding the system, with more people now living longer.
We had protests, but they led to nothing. No one paid any attention at all. People can't understand why we need pension reform. In this country, with such rich resources.
But in Irkutsk, men still die, on average, 2 years before the new retirement age. At this shelter for those who've fallen on hard times, staff say almost all have a drink problem. 2 years ago, 78 people died in Irkutsk, poisoned by bootleg alcohol. Sergei tells me he lost both his legs to frostbite. It is a long story, whose details he says he'd rather not share. In central Irkutsk, life for many actually looks pretty good these days. With Western brands, new buildings, smart cars, the middle class has clearly grown, even this far from Moscow. But this was the first of several regions to elect a communist governor. Perhaps it's no surprise that communist politicians are beating pro-Putin ones in places like this. Places where concerns about prices, taxes, and of course that pension reform are on the rise. It feels like Russia's government is now squeezing the people for funds. And as a result, even President Putin's approval rating, that was once sky high, is starting to slide. Vladimir Putin's Great Russia talk chimed with a nation that felt strong again and stable. In the freezing heart of Siberia, the cracks in that message are starting to show. Sarah Rainsford, BBC News, Irkutsk.